What's that smell? It smells like the Packers are bitches. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Spike Podcast, the NFC North Podcast. My name is Imorie Curry. Today it's just me. We're going to be talking about the Green Bay Packers falling to the Chicago Bears 24-22 at Lambeau Field. So there's a God. There's so many things to talk about from this. Because obviously, guys, this is a game that we should have won. The NFC North Division, with this loss, it brings us to 1-5 in our division, even though our record overall is 11-6. There's just so many fucking things wrong, dude. So I'm going to start right here with the mentality of the coach. Because Matt LaFleur went into this game this week and all the press conferences saying we're playing to win. And I think that the Packers needed a win to have some momentum going into the offseason. Now, you know what? The way the cards have fallen so far today on this Sunday, we're going to be going to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Eagles next week. I don't fucking feel good about it. All right. I'm going to break down pretty much our whole game between us and the Bears today. And I have a lot of points that are really crucial going into this playoff. I think that overall, we just have a lot of things we have to clean up, dude. So let's start with this. Let's start with the first drive. So the Green Bay Packers, obviously, and when we won the coin toss again. And I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. We need to have the ball first in the second half. If we are going to play mediocre football in the first half of the game, we got to be able to come back in the second half and hit them hard. Now, again, this week we opted to get the ball first. Terrible first drive. No points. We kick the ball off to the Bears. They have a 3-and-out, and then we get the ball again, another 3-and-out, and then we punted them, and they had a fucking punt return, and it went all the way the fuck back. Now, Richt up to this point he's been our defensive coordinator for a couple of years now, or our special teams coordinator, for a couple of years now, and honestly, tonight's game was ass on their part. I kind of skipped over it on that first punt that we did on the first drive. There was actually a high snap, and there was a huge chance that our kicker Wheeling could have fumbled the ball. And if that had happened and the Bears had cut off the red zone, this game could have gotten away from us way earlier. Now, with all of that being said, guys, special teams has been a problem for this team for at least a decade. We've had inconsistent special teams. Now, the last time we played the Bears, special teams got off miraculously with one finger to block that field goal for us to win the first time. And that was in Chicago. So I'm thinking, at this point with the Bears coming to our house, the Bears coming to our house, we should have stomped them. Now, with all that shit said, the thing that killed us on that punt return was a fake out by DJ Moore. Our entire defensive or receiving or returning team or whatever the fuck, defensive team coming down to stop that, literally just got faked out. They all got faked out and allowed him to run all the way up the fucking sideline. DJ Moore was the MVP for that. And I think that, that's one of those things that Josh Blackwell did right. DJ Moore had the fake, and Josh Blackwell was able to catch it and run up the field and capitalize on us. It was absolutely embarrassing. So many missed tackles all the way around, and we'll get to that a little bit more later once we get to the defense portion of this video. But guys, we got to do better. And it's not even an issue of, in my opinion, it's not an issue of the personnel. I think that the schemes were just off, and I think that Richt has definitely kind of skated through, with Brandon McManus being an awesome fucking PAT kicker. And honestly, today, he had the game won for us later in the game. We'll get to that more. And, even after that, Jaden Reed comes back. They were front returning for a touchdown, and then they were able to go ahead and score again. And then they go into the halftime or the second quarter with a 14-3 lead. Now, with that being said, if we look at the overall gains of those two teams, now mind you, Chicago had a 14-3 lead against us. The yard disparity on offense was -4 to Chicago and 87 to Green Bay. How the fuck do you have -4 yards and are still winning the game? How are we defensively that bad? That we're what is going on, guys? It's absolutely embarrassing. Now, after the Jaden Reed fumble and, that whole touchdown drive, things kind of got a little bit more balanced. Defense finally started making some stops. And somewhere in there, Jordan Love goes down with a thumb injury. He hits his hand on one of his own players' helmet when he's scrambling out of the pocket. So he's out. Malik Willis comes in. Now, I have nothing to say about Malik Willis. I love him. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's poised. I think that today, is a little bit unexpected. A lot of other teams in the NFC who have already clinched the playoffs are resting their starters. Obviously, Malik Willis had to come in and he had to do something. And he was the one who really put the majority of the points on the board for the Green Bay Packers tonight. And I think that even with that, it's good that he put up points, but there's still a fuck up on Matt LaFleur's part. Because if you have a mobile quarterback, right, why the fuck do you have him dropping back in the pocket and passing? Why the fuck are you just like, why? You need to have play action passes, keep him on the center, keep these defenses confused. Because if that had gone, we would have literally had a whole different momentum shift. Like, and honestly, our defense coming back, we're just scoring back and forth. There's just so many wrong issues with this game, guys. Thank God, McKinney had that interception. McKinney had an interception. I believe it was late in the third quarter. Kind of shifted things around. The Bears are about to go down again, and that was huge. But honestly, it wasn't enough because that next drive, we didn't even go down and score. It took one more before we went down, and thank God for Brandon McManus for kicking that field goal. But there's just so many things wrong with this fucking team. Now, the things that are really wrong with this team, in my opinion, is the lack of coaching. Because there's no discipline in this team. Again, on the Bears' final drive, they get it back to, I believe, somewhere around the 20-yard line, right? Caleb Williams is on the 20-yard line. First down, stuffed, right? Second down, Caleb Williams rolls out to the right side of the pocket, and he gets hit with a horse collar. That's an automatic 15-yard penalty. At that point, they are in much better position to even mentally prepare for going down and getting in field goal range here, right? Now, at that same point in time, there's another huge pass made. There's a run good made, I think, by Swift. And then it comes down to 3rd and 11 with 15 seconds left. Now, at this point in the game, I about lost my goddamn shit. Because as soon as I saw them come up into the line, the Bears were in a really, really unique offense. They had like 3 receivers lined up on the right side, 1, 2, 3. And then for some fucking reason, it's obvious that those receivers are going to run a slant towards the center of the field. For some fucking reason, Jeff Hafley calls it a prevent. He's like, they're not scoring a touchdown. Motherfucker, if you look at the clock, it was 22-21, bruv. They only need a field goal to win, bro. What are we doing? And of course, ball snap, DJ Moore straight to the middle of the field, wide the fuck open, cuts it up from the left to the center, and that's it. They're coming up, drill it, miss automatic, it's a game-winning field goal. Now, guys, I hate the fucking Chicago Bears. You guys on this YouTube channel know we have a huge competitive edge here. I had Lavon Lane over in my apartment today. We're watching the game, and he got his revenge. Now, moving forward, there's a lot of things we have to talk about with this defense. Because Jeff Hafley's a first-year DC, obviously was mid at best. We're going into the playoffs to go against the Philadelphia Eagles next week. That's probably going to win. I'll say that. They're probably going to win. And that's putting it mildly. Now, I don't know what you guys are feeling as Packers fans because, guys, this season, I'm really looking back on it, and let's be honest with ourselves here. We really haven't beaten any good teams. We're 1-5 in the division, lost to the Lions twice, lost to the Vikings twice, and split with the Bears. Now, guys, I don't understand how, let's be realistic here, I don't understand how an 11-6 season can be seen as positive. Sure, we have the youngest team in the NFL, but last year, if we're going to look at stats, Jordan Love almost had double the amount of touchdowns last season that he has this season. Hell, I don't even know how well we're going to do against Philly, especially with the injury coming off this week. And guys, I really don't know. I don't know why on defense we're running so much of the soft-ass zone. The center and the flat have been open on every goddamn passing play that most of the offenses that have gone up against us have had, and they've converted. There's nothing like the Packers defense this year for having to stop a team out and just letting them run down the field and win fucking football games. This has happened in damn near every game we've had in this division. It's unacceptable. And the reason why I think that we get ourselves in this position is because our offense has not kept it going consistently enough. Our defense has been on the field too much of the time. And it's honestly, with all 3 phases of our game, none of them are running in sync. And I talked about this on last week's show. If you haven't got a chance to go back in our episode, please keep it up. It'll pop up at the end of this video. But guys, we have to be united on all 3 fronts of this fucking game. Without that, we will not deliver. And this is what happened again against the Chicago Bears and ends the winning streak. Now, more importantly, and once we get to the postseason, I'll do an outlook for the Packers, and I'll go in depth, and I'll do a super long video. We'll go down to each game, talk about a lot of things. And at this point right now, I don't know about Matt LaFleur. I think that he's done a lot of good things in the past, and his record isn't terrible. But this season, guys, he finally won a challenge. But this season, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling the overall hype. I'm not feeling the overall camaraderie. I'm not seeing that Matt LaFleur is truly leading this team. Because every press conference is, we got outplayed, we got outplayed. No, you got outcoached, bro. Let's be real, Matt LaFleur. You've been outcoached in every division game, including the win over the Bears this season. Every single one. Now, as far as I'm concerned, records are fun. It's a good thing to happen, but postseason wins are way more important. That's what this division has going forward. This division is arguably going to have, each team is probably going to be a little bit stronger next year. And I don't know how much of an edge the Packers are going to gain. Maybe Brian Gutekunst will do some awesome things in the offseason. Maybe there's a small chance that, we'll make some crazy trades. But honestly, my faith is not with the personnel. It's with the scheme. I feel like Matt LaFleur is very conservative at times. Jordan Love hasn't had a drive in a long time where he was just throwing dots. I haven't seen the elite level play from him, especially after getting a $55 million contract. I don't know, guys. I'm frustrated, and when we film the show tomorrow night, I'm going to catch hell from Chicago Bears, as we should. But, I think that there's a lack of pressure on all three phases of this team to deliver and to get us the wins that we need. Because at this point, the issue with the Green Bay Packers is not the losses, it's the inconsistency. Thank you guys for watching the Spike Podcast. My name is Imorie. If you like this video, comment, like, and subscribe. And also take a peek at our episode from last week. We'll like you, and we'll see you soon.